This news not related to current Ohio State football, but did my heart some good to see Braxton Miller signed with the Cleveland Browns today. Tony, any thoughts about that?
Well, the last time the Browns signed a former Ohio State quarterback to play receiver did pretty well for them with Terrell Pryor.
Did.
So I'm a guy who maybe the most exciting Ohio State football player in the last 25 years. I don't know. Him, Ted Ginn, those guys. Braxton Miller is up there with anybody. Covering him, any given play could go 80 yards at any time. And he was a fun guy to watch. It would be a shame not to be able to continue watching him. So I would like to see him stick with the Browns, especially since they're going to be on TV every single week here in Columbus and nationally with their evening games. So I'm okay with seeing more Braxton Miller. I don't know about you guys.
I agree. I think very exciting that he's with the Browns. And he made a comment today as they introduced him up there that he passed up other offers to come to Ohio because his now 7-year-old son is playing flag football. So what do we think? Class of 2030, whoever the head coach at Ohio State is, better have Miller in mind in 2030 because I can remember Braxton bringing him around the facility when he was just a 1 or 2-year-old and holding him in his arms and then throwing football with him and all these other things. Just really neat. So there's one to file away for the class of 2030 or 31.
Head coach Tuff Borland's going to have a good one back up, when he finally signs that kid.
I'll probably still be covering recruiting at that point.
Yeah.
Talk to him now.
I probably should. Get him in at an early time.
He needs to have a chat with Baker Mayfield, though. Baker still came out and said that he doesn't regret planting the flag. So maybe he and Braxton can have a meeting of the minds.
And the anticipation for this season, because there are so many unknowns, is what is, to me, kind of interesting and intriguing. And I think that when people take a closer look at what's going on at Ohio State, I think they're really going to like what they see in terms of Ryan Day and particularly Jeff Hafley with the defense and the culture of this team. Seems like it's going to be a fun team to watch this year.
A couple of weeks ago when we talked to Greg Stadrawa, I said it felt like the most optimistic interview session we've had with an assistant coach that I can remember. And now that I look back, it's not all that different from every other assistant coach we've talked to or players we've talked to during camp. They are very excited about this season. Optimism isn't really, I don't know that it speaks to it well enough. They are, to a man, convinced that the changes that have been made have all been executed well and will make the defense better. The running game will be better with a more an angrier offensive line, a better run blocking offensive line, a quarterback who is a threat to run, which I think is very important for this offensive line and for the running game to get going again. You see all of the talk, all of the excitement, as Steve said, it's not just one position or another. It's all over the place. And I don't know if it's been like that over the last few years. There's always optimism. There always should be. But it feels like it's a different level this year. And maybe it's the newness of it all. And maybe it will all come crashing down. But right now, I don't know. You guys, for me, it's another level. And now the fans are going to get disappointed when things don't go perfectly because we've hyped up another season of Ohio State football. And certain players, as I said, Josh Proctor, we can go back to Dontre Wilson a few years ago when you start hyping things up and talking about what you're being told and what you're seeing, which is all we're doing. There's a lot of excitement at the football facilities right now.
They're setting up the triangle formation. We remember, every year we always have a red herring out there. Oh, the triangle. Oh, they're going to do this. I mean, everybody's got a plan until they're punched in the mouth, and then we'll see what happens. So, I mean, I don't think that they're going to see a ton of adversity against FAU, but I think that Cincinnati game in week 2 is going to be a good test just to see what happens. They got 4 really good backs. I mean, we'll see what this defense is all about, but I agree. I think that it's the optimism coming from these coaches seems very real. It doesn't seem as coach speaky as it may have in previous seasons. So it could be because we have a lot of new faces. I mean, we have 5 new coaches on that staff because there's been, a lot of change that has gone on. But I think that Gerd is onto something.
Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, bringing you the best in discussion, debate, and analysis each and every day, but especially on Wednesday night with our 3 live streams culminated by Ohio State Talk at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So again, everybody spread the word, and let's get Buckeye Nation on here each and every week.